welcome to this episode of Let's Talk 716 Sports. My special guest is Izzy, and we will be talking Buffalo Bills football. Who do you think the Bills will draft this year?
So the draft questions are tough because really it's hard to nail down a particular player, but for me it's a position at this point right now. The only glaring holes are wide receiver and corner. And wide receiver is not really a glaring hole as in like talent, but more like depth, I think. Like we have Gabe Davis, we have Stephon Diggs, we have Jameson Crowder, we have Isaiah McKenzie, we have four solid guys at receiver. But we don't really have any depth behind those guys other than Marquez Stevenson. So for me, you go after a receiver, second or third round. You go for a corner round one. My favorite corner in round one is McDuffie. He's a zone guy for us at least. I think my favorite overall is Sauce Gardner. Obviously, he's a good zone corner. He has not allowed a touchdown yet in his entire collegiate career. He's a 4.3 speed guy. Like he is the perfect corner for this team. But I'd say the second best guy would be Trent McDuffie. Yeah, he'd be the guy I go after. I really do like Trent McDuffie. I think that he's the guy who, if they want to jump up and go get him, he's the guy because Sauce is going to be gone top 10. So you go get McDuffie, 15, 16, 17, and just let that be it. My sleeper pick would be Jerome Ford, running back out of Cincinnati. I like him in the third or fourth round. We could use another running back. Singletary's on his last year. There's no telling if they're going to re-sign him or not. If he has a blowout year, like he just kills it, he may be too expensive for the Bills to want to pay a running back. But if he has another year like he did the past few years where, he's all right and he's just, chugging right along, they may go for something a little smaller. But I always think they like to rotate backs. So I like Ford in the fourth round. Who was the other one I liked? If McDuffie's not there in the first round, I like Olave, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Another guy they can go after. Like if the guy you want isn't there, go best player available. And I really like the Olave kid. So that's what I think we're going. I think we're going wide receiver, corner, running back, O-line, first four picks.
Do you think like at running back, like with Singletary and Moss, which one would they possibly trade if they had to?
So it really depends on what they're getting and who wants the player, right? So if it's a team like the 49ers, they're gonna want somebody more like a Singletary who can catch up the backfield and who's shifty, but he's not really that speed, so he's not that type of guy. And neither one of them really are that fast. So you probably want to ship off. In my opinion, I want to ship off Moss. Singletary is just too valuable. He does more work on the ground. But I do like Moss's ability to hit people. But I could see them trading Moss more likely because he has more years on his contract. Teams aren't going to want to trade for a guy who's, on his last year. They don't want a 1-year rental. They want somebody who they can have for a couple of years and maybe see what they get from there. So I think the time for the money, it's Moss.
What is the position the Bills need this offseason or going into the draft?
It's cornerback. It's cornerback right now. With all the moves that they've made and signing Butker back and Bates to keep the offensive line solidified, along with bringing in Saffold and then, bringing in all the players they brought on defense. The only real glaring hole that you have to fill is cornerback. Tre'Davious White looks like he's not going to be back till October. And so that means Dane Jackson is cornerback 1 right now. And for me, I wouldn't want to have Dane Jackson as cornerback 1. He's a solid cornerback 2. I think he showed last year at the end, towards the end of the year there, where he had to play because Trey got hurt. But as a cornerback 1, that worries me because we don't have a lot of depth behind him. So you could see the Bills, take 2 cornerbacks this draft, maybe 3. Never know. But it's also free agents out there. There's 3 free agents that I like. One of them everybody's talking about, which leads me to believe it's not going to happen, which is Stephon Gilmore. There's a thing about Brandon Bean that everybody calls him Big Baller Bean, right?
Yeah.
Like Big Baller Beans, he's a real G. He's an OG right now. He's going out there making moves that people don't think he can make, and there's a song by Lil Wayne where he says real G's move in silence like lasagna. And if you pay attention to Brandon Bean, whenever he makes these moves, you don't know about it until it happens. So all this noise around Gilmore tells me it's not Gilmore. Like this whole offseason, it was all the noise was Chandler Jones. And then we got Von Miller. And no one knew we were even in on Von Miller. And then now the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Giants, I think it was, are all in on Stephon Gilmore. There's 3 other guys out there that tickle my fancy, I think. At least 2. There's 2 other guys in free agency. One of them is Joe Hayden, who I really like. He's a little older. He'd be like a 1-year, 2-year guy. That's it. The other guy is Xavier Rhodes, who used to play for the Vikings. And then this past year was the Colts. I like Xavier Rhodes. He's a nice zone corner. He's long. He's lean. He's quick. Xavier Rhodes is another guy they can pull in. I think that he is more likely to be the guy because of youth. But if they want just a 1-year guy, it could be Hayden or Gilmore. But I think Gilmore's going to want at least 2-3 years of contract. But just remember, all that noise, it's probably not us.
Do you think that like Von Miller was a good addition to the Bills?
That's a tough one because scheme-wise, he's not really a 4-3 guy. He's a 3-4 guy, right? Now, I've made this claim on my show a few times. He's still listed as a linebacker on the Bills page. He's never played 3-4 or 4-3 defensive end. He's always been a linebacker. And I think that he's actually going to play an edge rushing linebacker for the Bills. He's going to be he'll line up on the line every now and then, I think, but he'll be rushing from the defensive backfield and making his havoc that way. I think that he's going to be the Lorenzo Alexander of new. He's going to be that guy. I think that it's really going to be a different role for Von, but I think it's going to be one that he's going to excel at. And I think it's something that we've been missing on the Bills since 2019 when Lorenzo Alexander retired. So I think it's going to be a great addition, honestly. And not for the reasons that everybody else thinks.
Like, what do you think of like bringing back Shaq Lawson and Taiwan Jones?
So Taiwan Jones makes sense to me because he's dirt cheap and he's really good at what he does. Taiwan Jones is a gunner, right? You brought back Saran Neal. Saran Neal's younger. He also plays defense. So you gave him a $10.9 million deal, right? 3 years, $10.9 million. You can eat that. Plus, it's incentive laden. So that's the max it can be is 10.9, which means it'll probably be less. Taiwan Jones is like veteran minimum. Come in here, play gunner, get your money, and get out. And being that he's one of the better gunners in the league, even though he's 33, 34 years old, you can't take that for granted. You gotta appreciate the guys who come in here and do more for less. And that's what Taiwan Jones is. So I'm not upset with it. They list him as a running back. We all know he's not going to play running back. unless it's like desperation time. If Singletary and Motor or Singletary and Duke go down, then it's like, all right, well, Taiwan, you're in. That's what it's going to be. Him and Mackenzie will take over that spot. But I don't know. I'm really happy with those two moves because of the prices on them and the scheme fits and the culture fits that those guys bring to this team. They just fit here. They make sense.
Um, what do you think of Duke Johnson? Because I think he was here a while back too.
No, that was Duke Williams. So Duke Williams was the wide receiver that we had here, and we also had a Duke Williams that was a corner, and then there might have been another Duke, but it wasn't Duke Johnson. Duke Johnson was a Cleveland Brown, then he went to the Texans, and he bounced around to the Dolphins, and yeah, I like Duke Johnson. He's a quicker back than Singletary and Moss. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He's nothing special when it comes to NFL running backs, though, right? He can get the job done. That's what he is. He's a somebody gets hurt, I can go in there and get the job done. He's not a TJ Yeldon where he fumbles too much. He's not a Matt Breida where he's fragile. He's a bigger back than those two guys, but he's also multifaceted. So you can actually play offense with him as a starter on any team, but he's just not special like that. So he's good though. He's a good player.
Um, what do you think of the fullback, Reggie Gilliam?
Gilliam, Reggie. So I like Reggie because he plays both fullback and tight end. He kind of reminds me of the way they used to use Larry Centers back in the day. I don't know if you remember Larry Centers. He played for the Bills for like a year or two. Number 37 fullback. He came from Washington from that Joe Gibbs system. I really like him, and I think that if we ran more West Coast concepts in this offense, that Reggie Gilliam would be much more effective. So that's really what I think about it. We haven't seen enough of him to be like, wow, he's great. But the things that we have seen, it's like, okay, that's impressive. Athletically, that's really good. And if we ran more West Coast concepts in this offense, I think that we could take more advantage of him.
Yeah, because one of the members of Bill's Mafia, she has a Reggie Gilliam jersey and I see her wear it all the time.
Oh, it's a her. Okay, I thought it was gonna be Mario from Hashtag Sports. He's got a really odd jersey collection. I don't know if you watch Hashtag Sports at all, but those guys are funny.
I like the Built in Buffalo people in Buffalo Rumblings over there with Joe Miller, Jay Spence.
Yep. Yeah. So Hashtag Sports, they were one of the first ones I started watching because they did the whole car thing. That was fun. And then I always thought that like Paul was really small, or yeah, Paul was small. But it just turns out that Paul looks so small because Mario's huge. Like Mario's like 6'5". Paul's like, I'm not small. I'm like 6'1". I'm like, oh Jesus. I'm
And
5'9", so I'm like, oh geez, I thought he was smaller than me. That dude's just gigantic.
and there's another guy over there named Joe.
Where at?
Hashtag sports.
Joe. I'm trying. I
Joe
know.
Sharp, I think his name is.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm not familiar with everybody. Um, I'm familiar with some of the other guys. You know, cover one. You got your Tom Sets, and you got your.
Yeah.
I forget what the guy who breaks the film down, but he does a damn good job. He's good.
Aaron Quinn, I think his name is.
Yeah, it might be Aaron Quinn. He's definitely
And
over there. I forget who the other host is though.
Eric Turner and
Yep. Now you're hitting me with names that I can remember, but I don't remember on my own very good. I'm really bad with names.
Greg Thompson.
Yep. Greg Thompson.
Yeah, I had him on here one time too. So
How's he?
he was a good guest.
Good.
I liked him.
He seems like a fun guy.
Yeah, he is. Um, and like, I mean, I like talking football with other like Bills fans or like other NFL teams too.
Yeah. Whenever I get a chance, like if I'm at work and someone starts talking football, I get stuck right there. It's like, okay, here we go. We're in this conversation now, and I got something else to do, but you done brought it up.
Yeah. And do you think the Bills are gonna make any more moves during the off season?
Yes, but no, I have no idea. Like, I want to say, no, we're done making moves. And every time we say that, something new happens. Right? Like what happened today. Like no one saw that coming. Well, I did because I didn't see us trading stuff on Diggs, but I saw it happening. But like more moves, like the Diggs deal gives us a whole bunch of cap space, and they can still create more if they really need to. So I could see them picking up a Stephon Gilmore, Xavier Rhodes, Joe Hayden to fill that corner spot, just to have a veteran there until Trey gets back. Then you have two veterans, Dane, whoever the rookie is. Whoever you bring in is probably going to be a 1 year deal. Once they're gone, the rookie takes over, and you have Dane, Trey, and that rookie.
Do you, do you think that we would bring in Trayvon Diggs, his brother?
That'd be an expensive trade, even though he gives it 20 yards. But yeah, it's possible. His brother was saying, it'd be great to have him down here in Dallas so I can play on the team with my brother. Well, son, and if you want to play with your brother, guess where you're going? You're coming to Buffalo. So strap up.
Yeah, I heard on one podcast somewhere that like someone would probably trade for Edmonds or something like that.
So I was watching Buffalo Plus today. Mike Catalan, Dan Fates,
Jenna,
Jenna Cottrell. Her name was I was thinking Maddie Gab for some reason. I'm like, that's disrespectful to both those ladies. But yeah, Jenna Cottrell, uh, Dan Fates, and Mike Catalan, and I was watching their show, and they actually brought up a point that made a lot of sense that I just didn't even think of, because usually I'm the one who thinks of something like that. But if you look at Josh Allen's deal, Tre'Davious White's deal, like they got done like that. They were just ready to go. Okay, cool. Let's go, Trey. All right, Josh, your turn. Let's go. All right, Diggs, your turn. Let's go. Dawkins, all right, your turn. Let's go. Like, there's only one deal that they got done really outside of their window that they probably should have. That's Matt Milano.
yeah,
But everybody else got taken care of early. All the early round picks, first, second round picks that were worthy, and third round picks, if you count Taron Johnson, who's I think Taron's actually a fourth round pick. They got done before that season ended. And then Tremaine Evans is here. He's in his fifth year. And he's probably going to walk. And it's crazy because, I have his signed jersey right here. I have just a regular one I'm using as a pillowcase right here. But yeah, like, it's like we drafted him. He's still super young. He probably has a lot of developing to do, but I don't think the Bills feel they have time for that. It's like, we tried, man. And they're not going to pay him the $15 to $20 million that he's going to be, commanding. I see somebody else paying for that and, getting that fool's gold. Maybe he comes back saying, hey, the Washington Commanders offered me $12 million. That's the highest they got. What do you guys have to offer? Maybe want to stay. We'll see. I don't know.
what do you think of the new name for the Washington football team?
I think the Washington Commanders sounds stupid. Now, if for me, it's just the name with the city that sounds stupid. Like if they went Washington Warriors, that sounds less stupid. But if they go DC Commanders, that sounds less stupid. Like it sounds better. DC Commanders. Okay, I can get down with that. But Washington Commanders just doesn't roll off the tongue. It's too many syllables.
Yeah.
Like it's like Washington's three off the top. Washington and then Commanders. It's like six syllables. Look at Buffalo Bills, 3 syllables. Miami Dolphins, 4 syllables. New England Patriots, 4 syllables. Or no, that's 5. They're stupid too. But like most teams just don't have that many syllables, unless like their city name is really long, like San Francisco. Their city name is long, so you're gonna have all those. But Washington's 3. We got 3 more for the name. It's a lot to say for a team. Just keep it simple and move it right along. Just the DC Commanders just sounds better. Just it sounds like a comic book, like a superhero.
Yeah.
DC Comics, DC Commanders. Like it's like the Avengers, but like
Yeah.
off brand.
Yeah. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. So, what are you thinking about that Stephon Diggs deal? That deal was nice, right? Like, well, for Diggs it was, and I guess for the Bills it was, because you get to kick a little bit of that money down the road, and then it's $96 million added on, so that's a big chunk of change with 70 guaranteed and then 22 in a bonus. So, what do you think about all that?
I think it was a good move by GM Brandon Bean to like sign Diggs for that long and like keep the connection with Josh Allen.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that Josh Allen might not have been too happy if we lost Steph Diggs. Might have been pretty upset, and I really don't think I could blame him for that because they have that chemistry. You just brought him to me. Now you're going to take him away 2 years later. That's not fair. That's not nice. Plus, he's still one of the best in the league. And then
Yeah.
he didn't even get paid the most. He got the second biggest bonus or second most guaranteed money to only Tyreek Hill. But he's the 4th highest paid receiver now behind Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs. So I think he's right in the right ballpark that he should be. What do you think about that? Did you know that he was 4th in overall pay and second guaranteed money?
No.
So it lets you know that the Bills are like, all right, so overall cap hit, you're gonna do this, but your guarantees, we're gonna do this. It was like, all right, cool. Like if I only make it 3 more years, I get all my money. So whatever. But if I make it all the way through, then I get more money. So I think it's a win-win. It takes Diggs to his 34th birthday, I think. He's 29, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. So at the end of that deal, he'll be 34 years old, which is the age of Emmanuel Sanders. Man.
Yeah, I saw Emmanuel Sanders on Good Morning.
Good Morning Football.
Yeah, I saw him on there with my favorite NFL person, Jean Slater, I think her name is.
Oh, why is she your favorite?
Why is she my favorite NFL person?
Yeah.
Only she does good like coverage on all the NFL teams. Like the Bills, the Cowboys.
Yeah. She's a pretty lady.
Yeah. And she's good at what she does too.
Oh, she's really good at what she does. You know, a lot of those positions like that, where they put a pretty lady in there, a lot of people underestimate their actual knowledge. So those ladies don't let anybody fool them. Like Kay Adams, she knows things, and I'm like, whoa, like, and I really like Kay Adams. I think she's really pretty too, but like they know their stuff, and they don't get the credit they deserve for that. So I'm with you on that. But
Is it her brother that just went to the Raiders?
no, Kay Adams is a very petite Polish girl from Chicago, and Devontae Adams is a big, tall, wide receiver from Oakland. I think he's actually from Oakland, California. So he's a Raiders fan.
Yeah, and he was in Green Bay for a while.
Yep. He got drafted there and then killed it, and then decided that he wanted to go play for his favorite team ever, which would be nice if some of these Bills fans players did that, other than Corey Graham.
I don't remember him, but
You remember Corey Graham?
no,
So he played for Rex.
he
So when
played
we had Rex
under.
Ryan, yeah, we had Rex Ryan as our coach. Corey Graham came from the Bears or the Ravens. He played for both those two teams before coming to Buffalo. He was a safety, or he was a corner there, but he played safety for us. He played right alongside Aaron Williams, who I really like. I've met him before. Nice guy. I have some pictures of him and my wife and him and my kids. Uh, I saw him at training camp, and I was like, Aaron Williams. And he saw the horns and was like, I'm coming. He couldn't help himself. But nice guy. But Corey Graham played the other safety spot. He played strong safety while Aaron played weak or free safety. And he was a solid safety for us, but they were the guys who were here right before Hyde and Poyer came in.
Yeah, and then we had a guy named Coy Wire, I think his name was.
That's old school. That's going back to like 2003. He played safety for us, but then he went on later in his career and played linebacker for the Falcons. He came from Stanford University. Corey Wire was a solid player. He was also part of the whole Greg Williams scandal. Remember the whole Bounty Gate thing that happened in New Orleans?
Um, I think so, but
So the Saints got in trouble for targeting opposing players and trying to knock them out of games because of defensive coordinator Greg Williams. Well, before that, he was our head coach here in Buffalo, and he like was doing the whole kind of, I don't know if he did the bounty thing that he did in New Orleans, but he was teaching players to take other guys out. And there was a preseason game. There was a running back from the Detroit Lions. His name was Kevin something, and Coy Wire took him out, shattered his shoulder, and the guy never played again. It was, it
oh,
was it was pretty brutal. And then when he got to the sideline, Greg Williams was like, "Good job, Coy," and Coy did not like that feeling at all. Let's see if I can't find that guy's. Uh, nope, it wasn't Kevin. I think it was James Stewart's shoulder. There we go. There we go. Greg Williams coached them the Bills. 2002, Williams did wrong, and I know that now. Wire said my sense of normalcy was warped. I thought I was doing the right thing. And Wire cited a clean hit made on Detroit Lions running back James Stewart during the 2003 preseason game. Stewart had rushed for over 1,000 yards the year before, badly damaged his shoulder in the play, and was forced to retire. So yeah, that's rough. So some of these guys have been through some stuff that like a lot of us don't even know about.
has Josh Allen, like from his time in Wisconsin, um,
Wyoming.
Wyoming, that one in
Yes.
in
The other
Wyoming,
W state. Has he done what?
was he like ever in like a championship game before
Not that I
playing?
know of. From what I know of, no, he was not. Wyoming didn't win the national championships. They're Division One, and they're an FCS school as far as I know. So, no, he did not win any championships there. Um, he did do very well in JUCO, but I don't remember if he won any championships there either.
And our new backup quarterback, Case Keenum, and
Ooh, like it.
he uh he played for Minnesota with Stephon Diggs, and they played what was
Are you
it?
wearing a Diggs jersey?
Yeah,
I just noticed that.
yeah, because I I have a Fitzpatrick jersey too from way back when Fitzpatrick was here, and then I just recently got a Diggs.
Okay. Now I got to get a Diggs and I got to get a Josh because they're here to stay. As you see, I got my Trey White, got my Edmonds, autographed Edmonds, Shady McCoy. Downstairs in my bedroom, I got Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas. There's a Sammy Watkins somewhere. I think I'll get it with my wife though. Because she rebranded it as a Diggs jersey. But yeah, my sons have Fitzpatrick jerseys. They now have Josh Allen jerseys. So I got to get me a Josh Allen jersey. I got to get a Stephon Diggs jersey, and I got to get a. I want to get Deion Dawkins jersey because I met his mother at the Jets game this year. Sweet lady. I met her and Stephon Diggs' mom.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've
I got
never.
selfies with both of them.
Yeah, I've only met maybe like the older Bills players.
The older Bills player. Okay, so
Like Steve Tasker.
that's Deion Dawkins' mom, and then I'll find Diggs' mom real quick. They were both very sweet. Oh, there goes Diggs' mom. Very nice ladies. So one of them I met before the game, and then the other I met after the game. And then me and my brother were at the game together, being stupid.
That-
It's my guy.
Do you have any other questions before we wrap this up?
No, well, maybe I have one. I think I have one. I'm trying to think of how I can phrase it so that it is easier to process and answer for. Okay, I'm just gonna ask it like this because there was more to it, but I think that just overcomplicates it. Who would you like to see? Who would you like to be the last signing of the Buffalo Bills this year?
The last
And I'm last signing before the draft.
um like hopefully they would extend Tremaine Edmonds maybe.
Okay, so you're hoping for an Edmonds. So I don't think the Edmonds extension is realistic for a couple of reasons. We just did Diggs, we just did Trey, we just did Dion, we just did Josh. We still have to do Ed Oliver. We still got to do Dawson Knox. I think that there's way too much on the plate for us to go with a Tremaine Edmonds signing, especially since he's going to command a $15 million a year deal. That's what he's going to be worth minimum, I think. And I think somebody's really going to overpay him. And when I say overpay, I don't mean that he's not good. I just mean that they're going to pay him more than what he's worth. Someone like the Jaguars is going to come out and be like, we need a guy who's good. And then they're going to pay money for somebody who's great. They're going to pay, Bobby Wagner money to trade White or to trade Tremaine Edmonds, or they're underpaying Fred Warner money to Tremaine Edmonds. And I don't think he's on that level. I think he's good, but he's not on that. He's not on that level. So I think it's unrealistic, but if they did it, I mean, they proved everybody wrong already like 17 times this offseason. So who knows? You know what they're saying? The salary cap ain't real.
What, like, where could my viewers or listeners find your content at?
So before the show, I found out that my Red Zone Report audio was actually being ported to Spotify and Apple by Built in Buffalo. Thank you guys. Love it. Did not know. Don't really do podcasts like that. But I guess it works as a podcast. But you can find me live on Sunday nights, 7 p.m. on the Built in Buffalo YouTube network. My show is called The Red Zone Report, and I am Izzy. So you can catch me there. On Twitter at TFP Rican, which stands for at that freaking Puerto Rican. And once in a while I'll Twitch. And on Twitch I am TFP Rican as well. But I don't do it as much as I used to. It kind of got redundant. I like playing Madden because I like playing Madden, not necessarily because I want a following. So every now and then I'll put some plays up and let it be what it is.
Thank you for tuning into Let's Talk Someone Like Sports. Thank you to my special guest, Izzy, and go Bills.
Go Bills. Thank you for having me, Robby.